Good evening, friends. Hope you have had a wonderful, glorious, beautiful weekend, and you're ready to hang out and play some more Monster Train. We are continuing on with the Hat Trick Challenge, as has been our thing for the last month or so. We're making progress. We only have 6 more to do, and we're midway through Grael, which I believe we had done learning Limb already. There we go. So, that's where we're starting off for the day. Exciting stuff. Anyways, yeah, so we didn't use up very much. We basically just used up Sword Maiden and then a bunch of equipment that I'm not too worried about. I mean, like, with Grael, especially with Living Armory, any equipment is important. Like, kind of regardless of what it does. So, it is still meaningful that we lost some stuff, but we didn't use up anything too bad. And obviously, like, Horrify is a good card, and Explosive Reaction is, you know, pretty solid. But regardless, what pyre are we going to use? So we still have It Hungers, which doesn't need any particular pyre. And we have Living Armory, which I think wants Herzls. I mean, it would have wanted Bogworm as an option too, since it giving a floor-wide buff really benefits from having, you know, more units on the floor. And there are no natural ways in the Lazarus to, like, overstack a floor. But we'll take Herzls. That's what we're going to do. At least Banish has some ways to overstack floors. Also just a good clan, so, you know, we'll see what we get. Right, doesn't matter what we have here until we see what we got. Okay, well, we have to play It Hungers. Okay. I will say that the meat hook into Dominion isn't unwelcome, since, like, a single dualism upgrade or getting single dualism upgrade or duping the meat hook is enough to just, like, permadeath any flying boss, which is particularly relevant versus Dominion. Not that that's our only way to deal with Dominion, but it is useful. I don't think I care about Crown of the Eternal here, but how much HP does he naturally have? At low ranks, not a lot, but it does become pretty meaningful later on. I mean, honestly, Crown of the Eternal might be pretty good here. We do already have the lifesteal from It's Alive, though, plus we have, like, Valor, yada yada yada. I think we're just taking this to make the burden of equipping a little easier. Especially because we have the Graph starters, and so they are essentially Ember positive now, which is not unwelcome. Hello, Garton. Hello, Tiny. Okay, so as a reminder, It Hungers, Grael eats assistance. That's the whole deal. Yeah, whatever. They'll generate a Scourge card. It's annoying, whatever. Alright. And you get an equipment too. And then next turn, we'll have that already on the floor. I guess we'll play that out there just to get rid of it. I still am not getting rid of these Scourge dudes, which is annoying, but whatever. It's not like a big deal. I kind of feel like I should do It's Alive on these guys to do some stuff, but honestly, I don't remember what boss we're up against. You know what? Sure, we'll do that. We'll do that. And that. Okay, so it is you, which also, you're going to die to the spikes here, unhelpfully. But, it's not a big deal. Yeah, unfortunately that's not enough for you to get the kill. None of this really matters. Yeah, we already have enough armor that we're blocking all of that without taking any damage, so... Well, here we are. Alright, well, none of this matters. Yeah, he kills our dudes. Who cares? We're going to beat him down. Yes, it looked bad for a moment. No, it wasn't really a concern. Ta-da! Easy. Okay, so... The poor bird. I mean, yeah, he didn't actually need to die. So, It Hungers Grael needs assistance to devour. I could take Sanguine Assistant to be a better devourable assistant than the starting ones, but I don't really care about that. Forevermore Serum is good. Might be worth taking right now just because it is good defense, and that turns out is pretty helpful. And then we can't take Explosive Reaction. I think I'm going to skip on Forevermore Serum, but maybe I'm being too greedy. Can't take Windblade. I can take either of the other two. You can also devour other things besides assistance, right? Nope. With It Devours Grael, it is specifically sacrifice and assistant. Has to be an assistant, but there are a number of assistants in Clan. Kind of want the challenge, because if we do hit Trample, then it's pretty nice. Self-sacrifice also good. Plus 9 attack, not that big an upgrade then. Are you talking about, like, eating the Erratic Assistant? Because, like, it's still good, especially because at rank 2 and then rank 3, the modifier increases. So, currently we just get their attack. At rank 2, it's double their attack. At rank 3, it's triple their attack. So, eating that one 9 attack assistant ends up being 27 attack on its own. Plus, we get the equipment that it drops. Not to mention there's a bunch of other things you can do, like you can buff the assistant before you eat it. So, like, using, for instance, the It's Alive, which is now, what, a 7 attack bonus? Yeah. I did not type that correctly. Yeah, so it's only 7 attack now, it used to be 10. But regardless, doing that on an assistant, for instance, would mean that, like, if I do that on the assistant rather than doing that on Grael, by doing it on Grael, I'd get 7 attack. By doing it on the assistant and then eating it, that one buff is worth 21. Plus, if I give Reanimate to the assistant, I can then keep it alive through being eaten, and then I can eat the same assistant the next turn. Yada, 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 yada. There was another balance patch. I mean, this one is a couple weeks old. This is the Lost Arsenal patch. Like the one that did a bunch of changes. But anyways, point is, It Devours Grael is pretty solid. It's just that you need ways to convert the, like, high attack of Grael into a winning line, which is why we so badly want to get Trample. Or Cleave. Also, I probably should have taken the Forevermore Serum, but oh well. Hello, Glacier, how you doing? I might go here looking for, like, Plague Doctor. Also getting, like, holdover on It's Alive isn't bad. Doing better than Mariners fans. I have not kept up with Mariners baseball in a very long time. Although, last week or the week before or something like that, I just happened to be where someone was watching the Mariners game. And it was so ridiculous, it went into, like, 16 innings or something like that. It just kept going. It was quite something. They lost Game 7 today. Oh, feels bad. Okay. What am I doing here? So I kind of want to see if we can get Plague Doctor here, because Plague Doctor's the only assistant that is a banner. And that would be nice. On the other hand, searching for, like, dualism on Meat Hook is really nice. And obviously there are good banished units. But I kind of want to go there. I don't super care about the Merchant of Magic right now, but I think we're still going to do it. Holdover's fine. I mean, I could just take another Meat Hook. I'm not wild about it, but it's a pretty low cost for us to do so. You know what? I will do that. And we're gonna do this, and this. And I think that's all we're gonna worry about right now. What we really want is Twisted Assistant, or Cleave, or to get the one event that can get us Umbra Tome. Yeah, we'll do like this, and oh, it's because you guys aren't killing because of the Titan skin. I was like, why am I only killing 2 of these? But it's because these guys are each doing only 2 damage, which gets reduced to 1 from the Titan skin. Yeah, whatever, we'll just give that to you, that's fine. I probably should have saved that for the next turn. Oh well, I'm not too worried about things. If I wanted to, I could keep you alive with the It's Alive. But I suspect that my level of caring is reasonably low. Yeah, we're just not gonna worry about that. We're just not gonna worry. You know what, just for good measure, we're gonna do that. And then you can do a little bit more damage, I guess, who cares? And then we just keep buffing up here because that's what we're going to do. I don't actually have very good defense on my dude. I mean, I've got a little bit of lifesteal, so there's that. But yeah, there we go. And he's dead. Look at us go. Again, I can get high offense, just not great defense. defense. Okay, we are going to take the Forevermore Serum. I should have taken it last time. Oh, and there's the cleave. Okay, great. Love to see it. Unfortunately, I do need, like, holdover for the cleave to, like, truly be effective. And there it is. Beautiful. Absolutely all our problems are solved for the rest of time here unto eternity. Yeah. So be it. We don't care about those. I do really want remove consume, but I can't afford to roll for it. I guess we'll just take the It's Alive. We'll do this. So, Gross Michelle is really good for It Devours, because we get way more attack on eating things. Mute is obviously good, and I do really like Canio. Especially because there are a lot of cards I'd like to get rid of. Namely, just all of these things. But we'll take that, I guess. We'll have some sweet, sweet banana action. Unfortunately, the Rage is the worst option for us. But that's fine, I guess. Okay, so we are going to cleave down here. Although, let's do it like that. Unfortunately, you don't quite kill the backliner. Whatever. How you doing, Fury? Oh yeah, and I did forget to mention, Cavendish has no effect in graft units, right? I honestly forget how it works with the graft units. Gross Michelle at least works as just a flat bonus. Cavendish being the 3 times base attack modifier. I don't remember how it works with these guys. I agree that it shouldn't work rules as written, but I don't remember how it does. But anyways, yeah, for those of you who didn't see, there was an announcement today about the upcoming update for Monster Train 2, which is going to be released on November 5th. New bosses seem wild. They are something for sure. That I can definitely say. As luck would have, it's released on my birthday. Well, very exciting. Honestly, I don't even know what day the 5th is. Apparently that's a Wednesday. Well, we'll definitely be streaming it on that day. Also, for those of you who care about Vaults of the Void, they also announced their 5th character, which I'm also really looking forward to. Turns out Vaults of the Void, also a very good game. But yeah, the new update has a lot of shenanigans things. It has... you can have that, I guess. 2 new flying bosses. Flesh Weaver, and then Strixen Hallow, who is a combined boss. There's some new artifacts, new dimensional challenges. Just a whole bunch of things. Well, that's why we want Cleave, so that he can just do that. So I could move you up front. And I guess I'll do that just for the sake of it. Again, the problem is that he's getting strong enough that he can just one-shot my guys even through my lifesteal, which is not helpful, per se. But that's okay. Kind of. Solution, one-shot him. I mean, that's largely what we're working towards. Oh, and the Forevermore Serum certainly helps. Whoops, there we go. Alright, he's basically already dead. And now he's for reals basically dead. Because we just cleave him, and then he had gotten weak enough that we can survive the attack and just lifesteal anyways, but even if we couldn't, we just daze him and then Grael just bops him. And he's dead! He's real goddamn dead. Blood-Soaked Arena does not help us. Wings of Radiance kind of does. Mix-a-Lot kind of does. Kind of want their Wings Radiance. It's mostly overkill, though. But I'm still gonna do it, even though I probably shouldn't. And there's the Plague Doctor, which I do think we want. I might just want capacity here, and by might, I mean I think I do want capacity for a number of reasons. There's some good stuff here. We definitely want to go here, though. I'm probably not taking another meat hook. I mean, I could, honestly. I have got Herzl's Horde. You know what? Fuck it. Let's take another meat hook. Oops, all meat hooks. It does feel that way. It's mostly just a matter of how much gold do I have. I think I'm okay with just doing... No, I want enough that I can get dualism if it's offered. Okay. So, that's going on a meat hook. This is going on the Plague Doctor. And then we have It Devours 2. And that's what we need. That's what we got. We are already most of the way towards a winning solution. Okay. Well, I was going to put the meat hooks in a different arrangement, which is to say I was going to put another one down here, but I do want to catch the invasion. I guess I've got the cleave that I could use at the beginning on a higher floor. But I was trying to avoid that if I could. Okay, so you're dying now, which means that then I am freed up to do other things. So I guess we're gonna do that. And then, yeah, I mean, that's fine. Oops, I didn't totally mean to commit to that yet, but fine. I was trying to see if there's a way that I can do this where I just don't take any pyre damage. And I was trying to see if, like, maybe I could double daze one of these guys so they go to the pyre room daze. The problem is that they then pull that unit up front as well. And so it would be the first one that gets killed, and I don't really have a good solution to that. If I had more Ember, I could then, like, re-advance the other three. But that's just not going to happen. So, whatever, that's fine. Whatever. Take a tiny bit of pyre damage, who cares? I maybe could have gotten by in other ways, but I didn't, and here we are. Sadly can't play out the calcified Ember, but I don't want to let the cleave go unplayed. No, it went extinct. Okay, the lifesteal's wasted, but on the other hand, I get a lot more attack. And who am I to complain about that, really? Oh no, it's Corrin! Look at all that amazing attack that they have. Ta-da! We're in good shape. Also, Corrin is now dazed for 2 turns. The lifesteal ends up being worthless, but it was already kind of worthless. But yep. And there's the kill. If I had better access to reanimate, this would also be going a lot better. Ooh. Do I want to use weaponized prosthetic? Kind of. Yeah, I kind of do. It's a weird card that I use almost never, but it kind of is helpful here. Replicate Array also cool, but not incredibly necessary. I mean, we could use it late into a battle to, like, dupe a, 700 attack power Grael. But I'm not going to. It's really just, do I think weaponized prosthetic will do any good for me? Sure, I'll take it. I don't know. It's fine. And do I need Benediction? Or Liquid Courage? I don't think we need Benediction. I do think Liquid Courage is maybe worth me taking. But we're gonna skip. I may be being just too light on my defense. Alright, let's get Cavendish. And yeah, has no effect on these guys, but it still does work on the Plague Doctor. And it does make the meat hooks into pretty hefty powerhouses. I think we're just going here. Looking for, like, Smidge Stone on the meat hook, or other things. Also, we get an artifact, and I get a dupe. Like, I'm generally pretty okay with this. Don't care. I guess we take care of the hybrid. Okay, sure. Well, I was hoping for different things, but fine. Could also give Endless to one of the assistants. The problem is that they don't have any base attack power. Obviously, I could have done that with, like, this one, and that would still be decent. Especially since the attack bonuses from, like, It's Alive do persist past death. But, alas. What I was really hoping for was that we'd get Pyrestone housing from the artifact, so we'd have an extra upgrade slot. So I need to decide what I'm duping here. It's either going to be like the meat hook, or it's going to be the plague doctor, or we could do the It's Alive, or even a cleave. Kind of just want the plague doctor. Yeah, that's fine. We'll do that for now. Heaven Seal shouldn't be a big deal, since I have just so much guaranteed attack right at the beginning. I also probably don't want to be setting up on bottom floor either, but here we are. Okay, and then you go there, and then we have another one as well. And then we'll spread you guys out across the floors so that we can hit the collector if need be. I guess I'll play you out. Even though you're not really helpful for me if you're not on Grail's floor. Now, unfortunately, what I would like is I wish you were dead so then I could give your equipment over to the Plague Doctor. And then I could then use the weaponized prosthetic there. Regardless, oh, I'm sorry. I did want to play the Calcified Ember. Don't mind me, as we get a little too caught up with fantasy and ignore the very real important choice ahead of me, which is just get rid of that. Okay. Well, Grail's a menace. Again, my defense isn't, like, that good, all told, but certainly works for now. Although, again, this would be a lot less impressive if we didn't have, like, cleave. Oh, wrong ordering. I was supposed to do the It's Alive on you, not the, thing that I did. Either way, that's fine. Oh no, it's Quoto! What a terrible menace! However, shall we handle him being dazed for 3 turns and Grael already having 658 attack? Like, it does reduce his damage by a decent amount. It just doesn't matter. Okay, double-edged bear is kind of cute. Don't think we're taking it because whatever. I don't think we are. I could take it and then give it to Grael, though. Like, it's not the worst thing. It just also doesn't matter. And I'd kind of like to leave it as an option for Living Armory, even though if it's an awkward option for Living Armory. And I can't take the Horrify. Could take Surgical Strike. Don't think we need to take Surgical Strike when we've already got Hold over Cleave. So, yeah, I think we're skipping it. It's just double-edged bear is kind of cute here, but no. Lead Songbird means nothing to us. We're not taking the Death Suit. Again, maybe we should take the Liquid Courage. I'm not going to. Okay, so I think we're going for the Merchant of Magic, especially because if we hit Remove Consume on Forevermore Serum, or even just like Spell Chain, like that is very useful for us. It's gonna look weird, but I'm gonna do that. Beautiful. I mean, there's a lot of other things I would love to do as well that I can't, but so be it, that's fine. Alright, so, we're at full, and we're going to dupe, I think, the Serum. Could also dupe the Dualism Meat Hook, but I think this is a good option. I do need to thin the deck, but more or less we have everything we need. Like, we have so much offense from Grael, and it's basically guaranteed. Since we don't even have to worry about drawing into our dudes, we just have the Plague Doctors that he can feast upon. And we start with the Cleave in hand. Like, we got a lot of things going for us already. Unfortunately, yeah, we'll just leave those unplayed. Yeah, I guess we'll do it like this. And then we just play out some junk. And there we go. And we enjoy that smooth jazz. And now Kale's just basically permadazed, as one does. Okay, so we're gonna do it like this and set up for the future. And now you just wipe all enemies who oppose you. And life is grand and glorious and wonderful in all the true ways of this world. Okay. Yeah, I should be able to move Grael back up front next turn. Here, as a melee weakness, it doesn't matter really because the shield surge is the one who's using it. It technically matters some, but not really. Oh, there we go. That's the right order. And then we just explode all that. And then you get more, even though I don't have all the Ember to use it, except now I do. Anyways, then we shave off half his health. It's also got a chunk of Unstable on him. Ta-da! Beat it on KO is its own reward. It's true. How you doing, by the way, Banhammer? Yeah, we are reasonably strong, I will say. I do really want to thin my deck out in a number of ways, and we probably have to take Ember here. But overall, we're in real good shape. Okay, that kills him, unfortunately, because I could have also given him melee weakness for Grael to beat into. Snarky, getting used to slightly better schedule, but not so much tonight. Oops. Well, fair enough. So we don't need Minds of Their Own. Heaven's Word doesn't really matter for us. Wings Radiance, we're already not really using the one that we have. We were going to take Ember, as much as I would like to have taken other things. Okay. So, we're going to go here now. Unfortunately, the healing doesn't matter for me at all. And I don't think we're going to take the Organ Harvester. Yeah, I'll take Glass Cannon. Kind of. The problem is it's not actually... What I wanted was I wanted something good to use Weaponized Prosthetic with, but Glass Cannon is actually just better for us than the Weaponized Prosthetic for the most part. I mean, I'll still take it, I guess, even though I should maybe just not worry about it. It's just, I don't know that I'm going to want that for the next run anyways, so I'm sort of okay with doing that. I'm still a little mad that it doesn't work with the Weaponized Prosthetic, really, but whatever, fine, here we are. Okay, I'll get rid of that. Overall, we're in real good shape. Oh no, enemies have Reanimate. And I even get extra deployment Ember thanks to playing out the equipment. Okay, so. And then Grael is already up to 300. And is in pretty good shape. Okay, we're gonna daze you just so I don't get the corruption. There we go. I probably don't really need the double Plague Doctors, but I had set that up partly in a world where we didn't have the Forevermore Serum as set up as well as we have now. Yeah, you know, it's fine. We'll let Grael take a hit there. It's not a big deal. Well, we'll get that. Okay. Oh, whoops. I need to not do it in that order. Unless I want to daze Grael with the meat hook to move him back up front. I just spaced out on the part where I don't have another movement thing afterwards. Okay. Ta-da! Just a casual 3,000 damage. I mean, like, it's not the end of the world if Grael took some hits here, but we'll do that nonetheless. I don't really need to be keeping every single assistant alive at this point. You know what, I'll just let you take the hits and die, although we're not actually killing all these guys now. But that's fine. The boss comes out in a moment. Oh no, it's Rex. I mean, Rex is spooky scary, don't get me wrong, but he's a lot less spooky scary in mere moments. Namely, we just do that and he dies. $1,441 attack roll. I never get my Grael that high. There's a run that I meant to put up on YouTube a long while back where we got him up to 8 million. So that was a thing. Stupid weaponized prosthetic. This is why I don't take weaponized prosthetic, because it's just always a disappointment. What method? So using It Devours Grael, the one that we're currently using, combined with Brain Transfer, you can use him. You can use the Brain Transfer on Grael to transfer his attack to an assistant. Then you eat the assistant, and then you gain all of that attack. Next turn, you then do it again. And you just keep doing that basically back and forth. You need to have enough, like, reanimate that you can keep all the respective units alive. Since this transfers the reanimate that's on Grael along with the attack that it transfers. But, yeah, you just do that, and you can just keep essentially exponentially increasing your scaling. Yeah, it's a cool combination. It's sort of niche, but... And again, you do still need, like, ways to convert that into a win, which isn't, like, too hard, but you do need something like Cleave or Trample of some sort, or some other way to, like, clear waves. Otherwise, Grael's 8 million attack that you've invested all this work into is still not gonna matter. Anyways, we're not taking another weaponized prosthetic. Horrify we can't take, and we don't need the surgical strike. So, there we go. We're not taking Shield of Wing. Lead Songbird does nothing for us, and we're not taking the Death Suit. We're going here. Haven't totally decided why, but we have reasons. We don't have Unstable. Martyr Signet is pretty late, but I guess I'd maybe take it anyways. Well, unfortunately I don't have any equipment for that to draw. I guess maybe we take the Celestial Cascade. I'm gonna do this on the hopes that we get dualism. I mean, what I should be doing is probably just removing some cards, and I got carried away and didn't do that. But that's fine. It's not like we really need to be doing a whole lot here. Okay, so we have options. We either dupe the Forevermore Serum or the Glass Cannon, or we just dupe the Cleave. And I kind of just want to dupe the Cleave, honestly. Yeah, you know what? That's fine. We'll do the Cleave. You're right. Not terribly worried about this. Like, Grael is gonna get some corruption, which I don't love that part of it, but for the most part, we should be okay. Okay, so we're going to do that, and then I think what we're actually going to do is we're going to have you block. Like, that's pretty okay for me. Unfortunately, I still am going to waste all the melee weakness if I try to melee weakness you guys. I mean, I'll still do it, I guess. Alright, I think we're okay now, more or less, with Grael getting some corruption. Okay, so you're gonna go up front so you can kill him. Oh, you already had to reanimate. I didn't actually need to daze you. I mean, that's fine. Whatever. Who cares? Alright. Exciting stuff. Yeah, you already have corruption on you. That's fine. Whatever. Anyways, we do this. Who cares? Our front dude's gonna die. Grael takes a little bit of damage from the corruption. My level of concern is tremendously low, all things considered. I suppose I could have moved you up front so you could like kill those guys with the unstable. Oh well. Fortunately, Grael's 1200 attack is wasted, but again, does it matter? I would posit the answer is no. Alright, now Seraph is super dead. For any number of reasons. Alright, and then we're just gonna cleave and do 1600 damage, and they're all dead. Ta-da! This is, again, one of those reasons that we wanted Banished as the support for Grael. Also, I forgot to move the meat hook on the top floor up front for the Martyr Signet bonus. Oh well. Not a big deal. Wasn't really relying on it. Mostly just bought it because I could. Not because I needed it. Alright. Again, unfortunately, I'll just gonna have to sit and wait for Dominion to die, as one does, but mostly that's okay. Turns out, Perzel's Horde is a good pyre. Okay, so... for a moment, I didn't see the second cleave. I'm like, how do I not have both cleaves? Like, we have intrinsic on both because we duped the one to make the other. Oh, how goes the runs? It goes alright. This is our first run of the day, and it's going just fine. Well, sadly can't base entropy. So whatever. Alright, just to avoid some corruption, we'll do it this way. I'm not going to melee weakness Grael a whole bunch. That's fine, who cares? I mean, I could have done this differently. Alright, well, I'll give you a bunch of melee weakness. I could have given you more melee weakness that I actually thought about it, but I didn't. Again, I'm not terribly worried about the general situation. Oh no, we harvested, now they're stronger. However, shall I handle such a fate? Yeah, I guess have some rage. Why not? How you doing, by the way, Jank Shank? Well, we are now, once again, officially just waiting for Dominion to die. Which is not surprising, nor that big a deal, but still. I'd love to draw into the Wings Radiance again, though we're probably not going to do that anytime soon. Both because I have several holdover cards, we should say a lot of holdover cards, and because we have a bunch of Curse of Entropies in the deck. And there we go. Finish up Hades 2 Epilogue. Certainly have opinions, but not sure how spoilery that would be for others. Yeah, I haven't done the Epilogue yet. I'm like right at the Epilogue. It just took me so long to get approval from Prometheus, basically. Also, I hadn't leveled up Moros at all because he is truly bland and boring. But whatever. Here we are. But yeah, anyways, point is, I still need to do that. I'm very close, I just haven't done so because I didn't do that in the last couple days. Still not being Typhon Psy. I mean, Typhon is not easy. As with everything in Hades, it certainly gets easier as you get more used to it, but there's a lot going on in the fight, I will say. Should have done that slightly differently, but it doesn't matter. Oh well. And again, this just doesn't really matter. Okay, but we can challenge you, and then Pyre you, and unfortunately you're still not quite dead yet. So I still have to wait for you to hit my Pyre. It's only 3 damage. Funny, I just finished the main plot as this conversation is happening, heading to epilogue now. I mean, the epilogue takes a while to get to if you just beat the main story. Typhon is rough, a lot going on, much easier if you have the power to just burst him down to avoid most of the nonsense. Yes, agreed. Yeah. Oof. Anyways, we got there. It was not a particularly difficult run. It was a fun run. Like, I do really like Grael as champion. I would say my biggest complaint with Grael is just that he's perhaps a little too consistent, since it's not hard to get him rolling, and he has so much power just, like, baked into his champion kit. And especially, like, he combos well with his starter card. His starter card, not even, like, that impressive. It's, like, a decent card. But just the way that Grael works, it turns even an innocuous kind of card, like Erratic Assistant, into being powerful. Credits on night 36 didn't reach epilogue until 94 something. Jeez. Yeah, it's like, I know there are things they could have done to hit it faster, but you are very much at the mercy of the game to just let you get to the epilogue in some ways. And that is annoying. Grail seems a lot less swingy than Orechi, yeah. I would actually say Orechi's the stronger of the two. And I mean that both in terms of, like, general power level and consistency. Like, Grail, you're a little bit more tied into specific things. Like, if I hadn't hit the cleave on this run, it would have been a lot less powerful. I still would have had options, but it would have been, you know, substantially less powerful than it was. Whereas with, like, Orechi, you are less at the mercy of needing to hit those things. Kind of all of his paths are pretty powerful regardless of what you're doing. Obviously, there's, like, high rolls, low rolls, yada, 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 as there are kind of with anything. But still. Anyways, let us add to the tracker. Orechi, for me, is more intuitive, but I don't have the experience to see how that translates to power level. I mean, Orechi's definitely one of the strongest champions in the game. Not least of which because he also has basically the best starter card. I mean, he's powerful regardless of having the starter card or not. It's just that it's an extra boost on top of it. But yeah, anyways. It devours, and we did this with Herzls. We used Meat Hook. And we used Plague Doctor. I guess Meat Hook is definitely one of my most commonly used Lazarus units. I basically never take either the, like, tank units, Hulking Mass, or the Golem that I'm playing. Makeshift Golem. I just couldn't remember its modifier for a moment. But, like, Meat Hook I take all the time. It's just a good unit. Is there anything more satisfying than the choose through mix artifacts and then mix again artifacts? I mean, that is a good feeling. We'll say that for sure. Okay, so unit-wise, I think that was all we had. Okay, and then for spells, there's Wings, Radiance, which basically didn't end up helping, unfortunately. Challenge. It's alive, which is still good even after the nerf to 7 attack from 10. Unfortunately, weaponized prosthetic was worthless for us. I really wanted to use it to good effect, but just didn't end up being helpful. And then Cleave was the star of the show. We didn't take any rooms. We did have glass cannon. And I think that was everything. I just try to be slow and careful about this because I don't want to miss anything. But I believe that was everything. Okay, so now we still need to do Living Armory, which I would say is Grail's strongest pathway. That said, we did use up the 2 best pyres for Living Armory already. Because Bogworm makes it easy for us to get a bunch of units onto a floor, and Herzls makes it easier to just put down a bunch of units in general, making it easier for us to, like, take capacity. Especially if we're trying to use something like Test Subject Alpha, which is now 3 cost. But Living Armory works basically no matter what we're pairing it with. So yeah, I don't know what we want. Don't particularly want wings. Trying to avoid Life Mothers. Pyre of Savagery is pretty decent for us. It's probably Aquats that we take here. I don't know, let's take Aquats, I guess. And there we go. As a reminder, if we don't see Living Armory, we do have to re-roll, so it doesn't really matter what's on offer until then. Yep, alright. Living Armory. Okay. So we have Explosive Reaction, which we're not supposed to have, but whatever. We have the Warblers, which I don't really care about, especially since we also have Test Subject Alpha to start. Test Subject Alpha is a very good start for us. Do I want Ember Staff here? It's way easier to hit with Grael here, because we have units that become equipment. And so it's not that hard for us to hit like unit equipment spell or like unit equipment and a blight. I forget how equipped works. Does it continue stacking plus 24 at max for each time equipped, or is that just flat bonus if it's equipped at all? It is every time equipment is put on Grael, it does this effect. So yes, at rank 3, you put an equipment on him, gives plus 24 attack to the entire floor. You put another equipment on, it gives another plus 24 to the entire floor. I do understand the confusion, because definitely the first time I read this, I just kind of assumed that it was a state trigger, like you're talking about, as in, if it is got equipment on it, then it has the bonus. And if it doesn't have equipment, then it doesn't. But that is not how it works. It is just every time equipment is put onto it, it takes effect. Anyways, I guess we'll take Versatile Ember Staff. Wing Steel would also have been nice, but here we are. And Wing Steel is definitely nicer with Aquats, where if we do draw into something we like strongly cared about, we'd still be able to use it. The one big downside of Living Armory Grael is that he has, like, no starting HP. Yeah, that's the MTG interpretation. Yep! It's almost like that is the game I've spent a large chunk of my life playing. Even if I am currently very frustrated at the state of MTG. Okay, let's pull that up front, because boy do I want that. Alright. And thus, the stacking of power continues. Yeah, we'll just play that out, who cares. You know what? Let's just play these out too. Whoops. I scrolled way too fast. I forgot that it actually does require you to let it scroll to the top first. Technically we're just feeding him. It doesn't tons matter. He's not actually gaining power, he's just not losing power, essentially. Why make your own IP when crossover does the trick? Wizard of the Coast. Sigh. Yep. Yep. Yeah. It's not great. And, like, I would be mad kind of regardless, but I'd be a lot less mad if it weren't just as heavily pushed as it currently is in Magic. But whatever, nothing I can do about it. It's just very frustrating. Okay, so we cannot take another explosive reaction. We sadly can't take the Forevermore Serum. We could take Sanguine Assistant. And again, kind of the marker for success is mostly just that we need to get a bunch of equipment. Unfortunately, I don't really want to do it with the graft units. Technically it works, it's just not ideal. It's also not the best graft unit for us, since I don't have any meaningful amount of HP to lifesteal back. I think we skip. We'll take the Selfless Sacrifice. Also, didn't even take a look at what we've got. Entropy is fine. Entropy is the best option for us, basically. It can cause some issues, but it's mostly not a big deal. Yeah, we're gonna go here into the Merchant of Arms. Although it would be nice to go to a Merchant of Magic at some point. Nonetheless, this is the priority. Don't care about those so far. Don't care about the Pincushion. I could take Hulking Mass. The problem is that it's so large, and I just don't really give a shit. I mean, technically it does give me defense, of which I'm currently lacking on, but I also hate it. So we're not going to take it. I probably should have taken it as a backup. So I kind of want to give HP to the test subject Alpha. That would matter more if I had ways to give lifesteal, but I just skipped on the lifesteal assistant, and I don't have the ability to take It's Alive even if it shows up. I probably should have taken the Hulking Mass in case we were offered Smidgestone here. I'd have Ember problems, but that's something I can overcome. I kind of just want to give HP to, like, a Warbler, but I'm not wild about that. I think we probably just do this and don't get greedy. Why is test subject to Alpha 3 cost? Am I missing an interaction, or was it rebalanced? It was just rebalanced. People were picking it too often, and it's just generally a pretty decent card. I do think people tend to overvalue it when they call it the best unit in the game. It's very much not. It's not even the best sweep unit, but it is a good sweep unit. But yeah, it's just 3 cost because there's a lot of things, particularly there's a lot of things in Clan that work well with it. And so it deserves to get toned down a little bit. Is the hero ability plus X or plus X plus O? It just gives attack, it does not give defense. Which is why we're mostly eyeing defense right now. And why I was considering taking the Divinity, and I took the Selfless Sacrifice instead. Maybe I should have taken the Divinity, because the Valor would have been nice, but like, Selfless Sacrifice is very useful. It's just a lot less useful in a world where I'm maybe not visiting a version of Magic anytime soon. In the ideal world, I'll tell you right now, we're going to get Organ Harvester right here. And that will solve many of my problems. If we don't get Organ Harvester, I have to be a little more creative, but okay, I think we're just going to not be too greedy. We're going to do that. Okay, multi-strike is very good. There's the Smidge Stone we just talked about. I'm going to do this just for a little more defense in case I need it. Don't think I do. Probably waste my gold. That's fine. That's okay. Oh, and because I forgot to read your message, never quite figured out the best way to use graph units, and not being banners makes them kind of unreliable for specifics I found. Best case I had was just spamming them in general for Grael bonuses. Yeah, they're a little weird. Like you say, not being banner units does make them less reliable, but the trade-off is that their effects are generally pretty powerful and kind of above rate for what they do. And if they are a major part of your strategy and you're worried about not drawing them, then the play is that you thin the deck and you dupe the craft unit. Or you utilize things like Channel Song or Scrap for Parts, which allow you to essentially fish for a unit from your deck. Because you can also do that where if they're like the only unit in your deck, then you're guaranteed to draw them off of that effect. Well, our deck has largely done its thing, and we're mostly pretty much as powerful as we get right now. There we go. Again, my defense, not that great, but we're working on it. And if I can put more units on the floor, we're going to look a lot stronger, which again is partly why we really wanted like Herzl's Horde or Bogworm. Maybe I want the Sanguine Assistant here. Maybe I want the Pseudoscience. Because we haven't done Pseudoscience yet, right? I don't really want the Pseudoscience, but it does potentially give Reanimate. Alright, I'll take the Pseudoscience as a backup plan. Ooh. I was gonna pick that Divinity. And I can't take the Wind Blade, otherwise I would consider that just because we just want a lot of equipment. Rising Rage, though, is a way for me to get more units onto the floor without having to worry about taking capacity, which is helpful because if I take capacity, I won't have enough deployment Ember to play out like 2 test subject alphas just because they're so expensive. So we're doing this. Yeah, I mean, I do want to go with the Merchant of Magic since I'm not getting another one for a bit. But also, I'm not getting another Merchant of Arms for a while, and I would like to get a Merchant of Arms. Okay. So we need a reminder. I believe I haven't taken Swift Steel Dagger. I despise output variants, so I just can't bring myself to take Pseudoscience. I mean, yes, anyone who's been around a while has heard me rant a non-small amount about randomness for randomness sake. Oh, Swift Steel Dagger is used. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But anyways, yeah, I'm right there with you. I generally dislike randomness for randomness sake. Nonetheless, it's a decent card that can be very frustrating at times. But especially with, like, double stack on it, giving, like, Lifesteal 4 can be very good for a lot of units. Reanimate 2 is very strong. Spikes 12 is pretty decent. The problem is just that in most setups you're doing, you only care about, like, maybe 2 of those effects at any given time. We're not going to need the Inferno Room. We definitely reroll. Okay. Well, we take that. could also take Steward's Quarters just for extra capacity. Which I maybe want to do. I don't know. I'm mostly just annoyed. Okay. I'm just not going to bother with that. Well, I'm pretty okay with taking Candio here. Diadem is a fun addition. Looking forward to giving it a try when I fire Monster Train 2 again. It's okay. It's a decent equipment to exist. Oftentimes not that important, but yeah, it's alright. You know what? Fine, I'll do this. It mostly feels like a waste of gold. Also, I probably should have done purges first. I spaced out on the whole Candio situation, but here we are. Candio mutes bosses, right? Wrong Joker, but yes, the one that mutes does mute bosses. Okay, well, we'll have you guys block, except I did this in the wrong order, so bear with me. There we go. It's just, I want to do that first so we can get the Valor, but I needed him not to get pulled up to the front after. Okay. Well, unfortunate ordering, but whatever. And I guess I should have done that differently too. Again, that's fine, not a big deal. Oh wait, I'm thinking of Chico. Yep. That is indeed the one you're thinking of. Okay, so I can trigger that. Yeah, spikes isn't what I was hoping to see, but we'll get the damage shield set up for next turn. So we have a defense versus that. Also, I need to remember that I have Aquaths to use if I so desire. You know what? Sure. Yeah, I don't know that I need to care about the explosive reaction. I could. Kind of surprising to me a crossover event is so common in game, but at least the designs are good. You mean just that it like shows up relatively often? Oops. I mean, like, seems fine enough to me. Yeah, I guess I'll just leave that as is. Our test subject Alpha is strong enough that he kills the whole team before they can do anything. Yeah, we take some Pyre Hunter damage. Who cares? Sure. I guess we'll do this just for the sake of it. We should be pretty good regardless. But now we're even more good. And we do get a lot stronger as soon as Grael gets leveled up. The Balatro event, yeah, seems fairly common, which is a little bit odd in my opinion, but I like how they translate the effects and balance them here, so I'm still happy with it. I mean, it's not any more common than any of the other events. Tome of Horrors is great. It's not really applicable for our current needs, kind of, though we could definitely pivot to take it if we wanted. Eagleheart is a very good and pleasing card. Nonetheless, don't really need it. We're just going to take the Cursed Twin Blade because it's an equipment. Also, we could actually use it with a unit if we wanted. Could take another test subject alpha right here. Could also just take the demonic fledgling. I think we actually want to take the demonic fledgling and pivot away from what I was going to do. Yeah, let's do that. And I need the Ember. We're probably taking Capacity next. I don't know. It's fine. We'll figure something out. So, what we want to hit is Smidgestone and Multi-Strike. Okay. Plague Doctor's also cute. Can't take the Plague Doctor, though, because we just had them on the last run. We're not taking Makeshift Golem. Here we are. Surprised there was no Dead Cells crossover, to be honest. The game seems to have a lot of them with a bunch of other roguelikes / lights. Yeah, it does. Like, the most recent one I can think of, though I'm sure there's more recent one, but the most recent one I can think of is Astral Ascent, which is a pretty cool game. But yeah, anyways, I don't know. Like, it was clear that they wanted to do just a limited number of crossovers, and they want to do them with games and creators that they like, and probably just people that they know personally. I don't know. I mean, I don't actually know if they know any of these people, but a lot of indie creators, you know, go in the same circles and support each other, so I assume it's something to that nature. Is there any situation where the minus attack outweighs the multi-strike? I guess if you put it on Dante. I mean, Dante's certainly not the best user of it, but it's generally worth having the multi-strike. Like, there are a lot of situations you can construct where Cursed Twin Blade is not good for you, but that's not really so much on the Twin Blade so much as on your deck construction. Like, if you have no attack scaling in your deck, this does, like, nothing for you. And it's pretty bad. But you should have attack scaling in your deck. So, it's kind of on you if you don't. Anyways, we're gonna give you attack, or multi-strike. Unfortunately, I can't roll for Smidgestone. That's fine. We have another Merchant of Steel coming up if we want it. But yeah, no attack scaling means you're dead anyway. Yeah, more or less. I mean, again, there's a little more to it than that, but basically, yeah. Oh, I do have the Exile's Diadem, so I can do this. You know what? Let's actually do it this way instead. I already forgot that I had Exile's Diadem. Unfortunately, it does mean that I get the attack bonus too early. The other problem with this, and why I was hesitant to do it, is I'm actually not sure I want to do this. I think I do want to set up on mid-floor like I was originally going to. The problem is I need a way to get my assistants killed, since I basically am relying on them for my equipment. That said, we will Rising Rage you. Unhelpful. I don't think I need to burn Aquas. Unfortunately, I just really don't want to be on bottom floor, or on mid floor, because I don't want to be letting these guys go past. They're very annoying. Okay, but we can start getting some attack buffs now. And I thought I was going to have to burn Aquaths, but I do not need to do that this turn. And we are suddenly dramatically stronger attack-wise. Yes, I give up the extra attack on Grael. That's fine. It's absolutely worth it to buff the rest of my team. Well, not what I wanted, but that's fine. Okay, so we're at least getting one less Scourge card this way. Which is nice. At least the Versatile Ember Staff helps me deal with them. Also, I keep forgetting to use the Versatile Ember Staff. Not the Versatile Ember Staff, Caneo while I'm at shops. Because what I should be doing is ditching about half of my deck. And I keep not doing that, which is not helpful. Never reanimate. Yeah, it does feel bad, but whatever. Oh, had I thought about it, I would have moved them up front. Yeah. Alright, and then we murder him. Well and good. Before my dudes die to the corruption, it's all fine and dandy. Okay, so I cannot take Horrify. Could take Scrap for Parts or Surgical Strike, which are fine. I don't think I really care about them. I think we're gonna skip on those. Punk Shredder's cute. Don't think it's really worth it. I will take the Benediction, even though I'm not really well set up to utilize it. Okay, I think I want to go to the Merchant of Magic. I was planning to go to Merchant of Steel, but I do think this is probably better for me. Because it gives me a chance to, like, minus cost the Benediction. It gives me a chance to remove Consume that, or, like, Intrinsic this. I don't know if I really even care about the Intrinsic on that, though. I just worry that I'm not going to be offered another Merchant of Magic for a while. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just do this. We'll figure it out. Hopefully it's useful. Yep. -2 and remove Consume is something that I was pretty happy to see. We're going to skip that. Yeah, I'm willing to do that, and then just, like, minus cost it. Oh, and I should be removing a bunch of things, which I keep forgetting to do. So let's make our deck not bad. Since the first couple of removes are even Ember positive, and then we start getting to just slightly worse territory. Yeah. Interesting. I don't think I want any of these. I'm already having trouble with Deployment Ember, so getting Savage Shackles is pretty rough for me. And frankly, they mostly don't matter for me. Savage Spirit is probably the best option for me, and only because it gives extra HP. But even then, I don't think I want to do it. Yeah, we'll just skip. And again, I could do that. I don't think I need to. I think I may be happier to just do that. Yeah, let's just do that. And then minus cost... that? I don't know. Probably didn't need to. Here we are. Keep forgetting there's a reason I'm not setting up on bottom floor. I was considering setting up on bottom floor just because I want the boss to have less reanimate. But again, can't really afford to do that when I need my dudes to get killed. Yes, please murder them for me. Thank you very much. Okay. Do I want to use Aquas just to avoid the damage? Kind of. It is pretty meaningless, though. Yeah, we're just going to avoid it, especially because we have a Calcified Ember, and that makes it much easier to get the Calcified Ember if we need. Feels like the Corruption upgrade options are the main ones, almost always better than Skip. Savagery and Entropy are more balanced, I think. Maybe. Well, I have to do that if I want to get him, so we're going to get him. Hey, how's the challenge going? It's going okay. Unsurprisingly, it's going pretty smoothly with Grael. Turns out Grael is a powerful champion. Not just powerful, but also fairly reliable. Okay, let's get rid of that. Unsurprisingly, Test Subject Alpha just continues murdering each and every enemy. I do really wish I had Organ Harvester. I did this in the wrong order, but that's fine. We'll do that anyways. But yeah, Organ Harvester or Everlasting Light would both be appreciated. I forget, is this run 2 or 3 with Grail? This is run number 3. Well, we're just gonna not let him have extra reanimate. And it doesn't matter that he's in front, because we're just killing all his buddies real quick anyways. Did you hear about the previews given for the next update? Yes. Yes, I did. As a reminder, I am part of the testing team, so there's a limit to what I can actually say about the upcoming update. But yeah, I did see what was revealed and what got talked about. The new bosses were previewed. A couple of the new artifacts were previewed, including Abyssal Prism, which is a pretty cool artifact. I don't particularly like the other one, the non-deployable units get deployable. Can you say the date for the next update? I can, Tiny, because it was revealed in the article. It is November 5th, which is very close. Oh, didn't know you were on the testing side? Gotcha. I've tried to be very clear about that. Like, some people don't make it clear that they're a part of a testing team for this game or for others. But like, I think it's important for me to say that so that I can be clear about what I can and can't talk about and how much involvement I have with the game. But yeah, anyways, I will say there's a lot of cool stuff to look forward to in the next update. Particularly, it's going to be nice to have more flying bosses. And I like what they've done to try to make the new flying bosses different. Also, like I said, Abyssal Prism, cool artifact. But there's a bunch of cool things. I believe they also said that there's new dimensional challenges coming. Though I don't think they said how many. I read up to the bosses section, then had to dip for classes, didn't get to the relics. Yeah, they only previewed 2 of them. One, like I said, is that non-banner units get deployable. So, you know, all of your hymnists or whatever will show up in deployment phase. I honestly don't particularly love that for a number of reasons. Like, it's very easy to hit your hand limit cap in deployment, which can cause issues. But also, I feel like it steps on the toes of something like Sketches of Salvation. But whatever, it's fine. It's an effect people have been asking for a long time. I have other problems with that effect. At least they didn't add it as like an upgrade to units, because I think that would have been a very terrible choice. But yeah, the other artifact that they showed off was Abyssal Prism, which the first spell cast each turn on a friendly unit dupes its effect to all other friendly units outside of movement cards. So that's pretty cool. Anyways, among these cards, we can't take Horrify. I don't need Surgical Strike, though it is useful for killing the assistants. And I don't really need Acid Shower. That's not a bad card. But we're not going to worry about it. I'm just going to take the Penitent's Death Suit, although I kind of want another Benediction. And then we're going to go here. I'll take another Diadem. I don't think I really need the Boiler Room, and Echo Vault is very not helpful for us. And there's the Organ Harvester. And Weapons Cache. Alright. Well then, you don't say. Yeah, like that is expensive for us. But it's worth it. I just had to make sure that I have enough gold for this, because it's 115 to do both of those, and then another 40 on top of that, so I should be totally fine. Okay, Departure Manifest seems aimed at getting the band back together. I mean, I wouldn't say it's only that, but yeah, I mean, things like that. So what do I want to dupe? I was going to consider duping equipment. I think we're just duping the Benediction, though. I also need to remember that I have Canio, and I should probably be doing more purges. Unfortunately, I was going to say, unfortunately, we have issues if we try to set up on not bottom floor. But I can set up on bottom floor because I can draw things out with the Weapons Cache now. So I will have equipment. So it's a lot less of an issue. We won't get to play out the Demonic Fledgling at this rate, which is fine. Just because I don't have enough. We basically have to do this where I end on the Diadem so I can play out the Fledgling. Are there planned changes to the Titan fight? If they didn't mention the article, I can't talk about it. Though I don't believe they've said anywhere publicly that they plan to change the Titan fight. Okay. I should have played out the Just Cause. That's fine. We didn't. Thanks for your insights. Much appreciated. Yeah, I mean, I just... Like I said, I try to be careful about what I say. I do want you dead. Although I kind of neglected this situation. Yeah, the problem is... Well, okay. We'll leave it. I will leave it as is in the hopes that... yeah, I gave you a damage shield. Well, alright. I appreciate that you tell us why you can't say. Yeah, I mean, that's why I, like I say, that I think it's important to tell people that I am part of the testing team. Like, there are other people who are part of the testing team who don't make it clear. And that's their choice. That's fine. But I think it's important for me to be clear about what I can and can't say and why. All that said, I would like there to be changes to the Titan fight. I've been one of the most vocal critics of the Titan fight for a long time. I do not think it's a particularly great fight for a lot of reasons. Extremely vocal of the Titan weight. I mean, it's not even the weighting on Dominion. Like, I complain about a lot of different things. I just think it's not a well-executed fight for any number of reasons. But yeah, like, Dominion in particular is certainly not good, but there's a lot of other things that just feel very messy about the fight that I really dislike. All that said, I do think the update has a lot of cool things to look forward to. And then even past that update, we still have the other updates that they've previewed. Well, not previewed, but the other ones that are mentioned on the roadmap that have, like, a new game mode and a new clan. Unfortunately, those are further off, but exciting stuff. Titan fight seems to be a good first idea, but didn't get a lot of iterations. I mean, I feel like it did get a lot of iterations, just in the wrong way. Like, I think that's very easily traceable with, like, the way that the Dominion Titan creates Pyre Lights, for instance. And the fact that he has spell shields on him. Because it feels like someone had the idea that they wanted to have, like, oh, how interesting would it be if there was an enemy that was attacking your Pyre directly? But then they realized, like, oh, well, it's not very interactable, and so then they made it interactable by making it create the Pyre Lights every turn, but then it's dying too quickly because of the Pyre Lights, so then its HP gets increased so that it doesn't die instantly to the Pyre Lights. But now it's in a state where, like, playing the Pyre Lights is the best way to kill it, and there's not really any point in drafting for it. Especially because it also has spell shields, so even if you try to shoot it with spells, it's just a waste of your time most of the time. I don't know. I have a lot of problems with the fight. I certainly didn't expect the new patch to be this close. Yeah, it's cool that it is so close. And then hopefully the, like, Q1 patch with the DLC then hopefully will also be sooner than expected. Anyways, we can draft any of these. I kind of want Double-Edged Bearer just because more equipment. I'll tell you right now, we're going to take the Spike of the League, though. And now I need to make decisions. I think so if I take Capacity, that's nice. I think we're just taking Ember, though. Yeah, let's take Ember. I'm, like, strong enough as is. What was the grafted equipment on the one that you skipped? It just gives multi-strike. No downside, no upside, just multi-strike. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, multi-strike is good. But I just mean that, like, a lot of the other equipment have, like, everything else that gives multi-strike has some downside. And several of the other graft things, like, have an ability plus another ability. Updates Echoes of the Void has to mean Wormkin is coming soonish. I mean, people have definitely been requesting Wormkin. I very badly want Wormkin to come back. Though they're definitely going to need... And there's the Smidge Stone we wanted, by the way. They're going to need some adjustments in a number of ways. Like, for instance, Glugsider and Kinho's Carapace both basically don't work with deployment phase. Like, at all. I mean, Glugsider was already bad, don't get me wrong, but still. Do I care about any of these? I think we are willing to take triple stack for that. Triple stack on that is also pretty decent. It could also do it here and just get 12 damage shields on turn 1. I mean, I don't hate it. but I think we're probably just doing this. I think we largely have solved my defensive needs regardless. So I probably don't need to be doing this, but hey. Alright, so how much deployment ember do I actually have? I have 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that's workable. So I don't technically need to get rid of the Shield Steward. I think we are getting rid of the Shield Steward, though. And then we're going here, and we're duping a unit, which means right now, I guess I'm going to do this, even though it's preemptive to my needs. Yeah, there are other things I could do, like get rid of the Warbler. I'm mostly just deciding if I need to take any more upgrades here, and I think the answer is no. Pretty confident the answer is no. So we'll just move on. That's good enough. Wormkin coming back would be interesting. We'll have more edge cards and support. Definitely not just because I love edge Lion's Bane. I mean, there's already a lot of, like, edge support in Wormkin. They were the original edge clan. But yes, they should, if they come back, work pretty well with what's-his-face, under Legion. Yeah, I gotta say, Weapons Cache. Good card, by the way, but also definitely helping very strongly with our needs here. Okay, so you get the Organ Harvester, and then these go there, and we should be pretty good. Also, never played around with Wormkin in the first game. Remember giving them a couple tries, not understanding what I'm doing, then deciding Penumbra go smack. Fair enough. Yeah, he loses the multi-strike, but we gain so much power across the team that that's worth it. Oh, and we're small again. Sure, just have some reanimate. Which means that they can even kill that for us and generate even more equipment. Oh, whoops. I did that in the wrong order. It's fine. Not a big deal. But yeah, Wormkin's great. I love Wormkin quite a bit. They're definitely my favorite clan in Monster Train 1. Used to be Remnant, but Wormkin, I just think is a great clan. It's just very fun. They have a lot of cool tools. I think the edge units are pretty fun and interesting. Their champions are cool. You know, hence why we even have an Echo Raid emote here. I hate drawing into another Vengeful Shard. But yeah, if they do come back for Monster Train 2, I would both be very excited. Well, I would be excited and... I'd be excited for their general return, but also excited to see what changes are made to them. Particularly, like I said, with units like Glove Cider and Kinho's Carapace. But there's also room for changes elsewhere, depending on how ambitious the devs feel like being in updating them. Do we want Replicator Ray? I think the answer is no. It's cool, but it's just not something we can utilize very well. So we're gonna skip. We're not taking Imprisoned Zephyr. I could take Be Gone. Honestly, it's not that bad. We have Sweep on the test subject Alpha, and so melee weakness means that he just hits everything on the floor harder. Could also use it to speed up Dominion a little bit. I don't know. It's really not important. I'll take it just for the hell of it. It'd be better if I were visiting the Merchant of Magic. I'm not visiting the Merchant of Magic, though. Well, I did plan my world around not having that deployment number. I'll take that. And unfortunately, I can't use Firestone housing. Well, Steward's Quarters is not helpful. Neither is Hall of Mirrors, kind of. Could I get value out of Hall of Mirrors? Not really. If I could put deployable in both the Hall of Mirrors and the Steward's Quarters, I maybe kind of could. But it's a big ask for what I'm capable of. If we see Dante's Footstool here, I could. But we didn't, so that's fine. We'll take that, I guess. It doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter. How does Hall of Mirrors work with craft units? Do the copies give you equipment? Yep, they do. Unless there might still be a bug that makes it awkward at times, but they should still give equipment. We're taking Equalizing Rings because it says equipment on it. I'm not going to take the Stoic Plate Mail because I don't remember how it interacts. I think it's fine, but... Both Firestone and Lightstone casing the last ring, 10 out of 10. Yeah. It was not ideal. We're duping you. I'd love to dupe more equipment. Doesn't matter. This is fine. Here we are. We're going to get rid of you just because I am at a point where mostly it doesn't matter a whole ton. I'm going to get rid of that, I guess. Basically, nothing in my deck matters at this point. I mean, that's not true. But, like, there are very few adjustments I can make to my deck that would do anything meaningful. It's more what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I think we want to set up on top floor this time. There's no real incentive for us to be on the lower floor. Okay, so we play you first. Then we make you small. Even though one of you is not benefiting from it, but that's okay. You get that. Oh, I guess that would be the only reason that we'd want to be on the lower floors, that you can then start building up to the reanimate. Doesn't matter, because I gave you... I have damage shields on turn 1 for this exact reason. Anyways. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. Look. We're already stronger than Learning Limb would ever be. Is there any reason you have the auto tighten off? Not really. I just don't see a need to put it on. More or less. But no, there's not like any explicit reason that I have it turned off. Well, now I have way more Ember than I need. Like, it's fine for the option to be there for people who want it, but I wasn't having any issues turning it on, and maybe sometime, somewhere, when I would care about turning off the Titan trial. I don't know. It is what it is. Also, I probably should have used Hawkwats to give myself even more reanimate. And by should have, I really mean there's no actual purpose for that. But, I don't know. Maybe. Anyways, let's do this. Now let's give you some melee weakness and watch as we just explode all those enemies. I have way more damage shields than I need. I've also got tons of reanimate. I have pretty solid damage scaling, even with the sap. I'm not at all worried about buffing up the enemies, since I have quick and I have damage shields. I'm gonna kill basically every enemy before they matter. The purpose is bigger number for the sake of bigger number. Fair enough. Admittedly, I should have put these guys in front of Grael, and I forgot. It barely matters, because basically just everything dies to test subject alpha anyways. But technically, they're missing out on some strike triggers occasionally. Okay, enjoy your melee weakness. Oh no, they got an attack in. I lost a single damage shield, however shall I deal with that? Given that I've still got 37 reanimate, 7 damage shields. Soon to be 11 damage shields on the frontliner and 12 on everyone else. Our defense is more than good enough. So long as I don't ascend the boss right now. Ta-da! Yeah, turns out Grael's pretty good. Again, my only real complaint about Grael is that he's a little too consistent, because it's very easy to get him rolling. But that's fine. He's a fun champion. I like what he's capable of. Close one. Yeah. For sure. Really winning by the skin of our teeth right here. At least there's the learning limb to make it not feel so good. Yeah. I suppose that is something that could be said. I just want learning limb to be reworked. But there are some people who defend learning limb. They're wrong, but they are people who exist. And it's an okay path. It's just mostly it's just a bad path. It's like Infector in Monster Train 1, where technically it's decent, but it is basically just worse than taking either of the other two paths on any given run. Technically, I should probably put the Cursed Twin Blade on one of these other guys. And you know what? Maybe I will put the Cursed Twin Blade on one of them. You know what? Let's do that. And we'll give you the melee weakness, I guess. I don't know. What do you say is the best path out of all champs? Good question. I'd have to think about that. Some Talos path, maybe, just given you're in Banished. I mean, I don't think Talos would have, the best overall path total. Talos has good paths, though. Even if people like to rag on Talos for reasons. Okay. Let's just explode you so that I can immediately buff my team. I am giving myself a fair bit of sap, but it also doesn't really matter. You know what? We'll just Rising Rage you so that you have one less turn to be hitting my pyre. Or Fel, I mean, got them mixed up at first. Fel's are pretty straightforward. Yeah, I mean, Fel definitely has some solid paths. I'm not sure offhand that I would say it's best in the game territory, but I'll have to think about it for a moment first. Okay, unsurprisingly, Savagery's down. Entropy was already down. We're just waiting on Dominion to die now. Maybe Lion's Mane's Maneater solves a bunch of issues on most runs. I would definitely disagree with that. Maneater is fine. People way overvalue Maneater. Like, I constantly see people say things like it's her best path or her only good path, or like, why would you take any other path? You don't need Maneater. Like, ever. It's fine. It's a good path, more or less, but the other two paths are dramatically better. Like, yes, it solves some problems for you, but, like, you already, like, it's not that hard to solve those problems, and the other two paths do meaningful things for you. Like, people make the argument that, like, yes, Maneater, like, it nukes bosses, or like, you know, neuters bosses. That's the word I'm looking for. So what? I don't really care. Like, that is not what I need or want my champion to do most of the time. I would much rather have my champion dramatically increasing my damage output, giving me like guaranteed defense, and bringing online the other tools of the clan, yada yada yada. Like, I would happily take the other two paths on basically every run. Again, Maneater's fine. It's not a bad path, but compared to the other two, it's just not that necessary. Also, not to take things away from what we just did, we just won with the Grael. Congrats us. It was kind of a foregone conclusion. We saw that we were very strong. But nonetheless, that was the third Grail run, and thus we're up to 15 of 20 complete. It was a fun run. It was just also not necessarily worth commenting on because enemies were pretty dead. Now you must have learned the lip. No, that's the one we did first. I just had not updated the sheet to show that we had done the most recent one. But we're all done with Grail. Who's next? Great question. Probably Wildenton or Prince. I would be willing to take suggestions. I probably don't want to do Lion's Mane yet. But, I mean, if people want to make suggestions, I'm down for that. Is the value the clan brings included in determining champ value here? No-ish. I mean, like, you always have to take into account how the champion functions with their clan. Because, like, there are things like, you know, Living Armory Grail with its equipped bonus is clearly meant to work with its starter card and to work with Lazarus as a whole. So you do have to, like, take some of that into account, but I wouldn't say, like, when determining strongest champion path, you need to take into account, like, most specific cards in the clan. Superfood Primordium is probably the strongest overall. I mean, it's got high rolls. It's good. I do think, again, people maybe overrate / tunnel vision a little bit on it. Because, like, there are a lot of times where Superfood isn't going to do all of that much for you. And especially with Primordium, you are contingent upon hitting a unit that can convert that power into a win. Like, if you don't get any way to get multi-strike or sweep, then, like, yes, you can potentially supercharge a single unit. But if that one unit has, like, 400 attack and that's it, that's not doing a whole lot for you. Symmetry to me says Prince or Wildenton, Little Fade before Lion's Mane. Yeah, I mean, that's probably why I would just want to do Lion's Mane, not immediately. Because I've done, like, all of the Monster Inc. 2 champions, basically. but we'll see. All-in cost reduction Tethys runs are pretty silly. I mean, yeah, like there's a lot of powerful things that each champion can do. Just out of curiosity, let's look at the logbook for a moment, since this question got asked. Wildenten's my thought for the next one. We can probably do Wildenten. I'll take a look in a moment. I don't really want to do Wildenten, but we got to get him out of the way at some point. As far as strongest pathway goes, like Unchained is pretty good. I'm not sure I'm willing to call that best. The Fel is just a good champion. Banish is a strong clan. Talos is good overall. Don't think any of those deserves to be called best. Like Spore Singer's good. Everbloom is quite good. Say Reanimator or Mad Scientist are definitely quite up there. I mean, Primordium, definitely still a very strong champion. Yeah, I don't know. I would say that probably just... You forgot to look at Bane. Oh, you mean Grael? Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, I would say probably just as far as, like, generally best champion path, probably Reanimator. Or, like, Mad Scientist. But, like, Reanimator is definitely really up there. It's hard to just have, like, a universally best path, because a lot of it's really contingent upon specifics. And a lot of these win in a decent run are going to be game-winning, so it's hard to compare, like, two very strong things against each other. How is SoulGuard's new Titan channel? Haven't got to try since the change. It's pretty good. It's definitely better than the old one. It's pretty solid. It stacks up pretty fast. And it is nice as a reliable way to... Like, it's good. It's just pretty solid. It's certainly not my favorite path, but it's pretty solid. You can have a worse path? Yeah, it is in fact Monstrous. I would agree with that. Monstrous is so bad, and I've been pushing for so long to get it updated. Oh my god. Architect 2. I would also like to see Glutton updated, but I think if anything, if there's any chance of things getting updated, I would expect it to be like Architect and Monstrous, because I think there's at least enough people who like Glutton as is, but... I think it could be just so much more interesting and better. But Monstrous and Architect, at least, are both just pretty bad and pretty boring. Wonder what the best cross path is. Though that would have a lot more variables than looking at single paths. I mean, there's a lot of really good cross paths. But yeah, don't know. I'm not going to think about that in detail right now. As far as what we're doing next... Maybe Wildenten. I gotta get it out of the way at some point. And we already tried Prince and failed at the end, and that was heartbreaking. Yeah, I guess let's just do Wildenten. I feel with Penumbra, Architects, the lower the two, since at least with Monstrous, you can cross over to give your Gorge Trample. I mean, kind of. I would say Architect is generally still better than Monstrous, because Architect is at least free power, whereas Monstrous is just pretty terrible and requires you to take a space upgrade to even use it, and does not have the payoff required for that. And even if you're cross-pathing, like, yes, you can use it to give Glutton Trample, but... that is presupposing that you even have a deck that is meant to support Glutton well, and Glutton's already not that great. Like, it's fine. So, like, it's whatever. I liked Wildenton a lot more in Monster Train 1. Feels like Awoken benefited a lot from the infusions there. It did. I will say that in Monster Train 2, Awoken is almost certainly my least favorite clan to play. There we go. I thought I'd clicked that, and then I didn't. As far as what we're pairing with Wildenton, since we didn't actually discuss that at all, I think we're going to do Stygian. It pairs pretty well with, like, Thornlord, for instance. And it works decently with the other two. Yeah, part of the issue with Wildenton, partly why I've been not looking forward to playing him, is that he's one of the champions that benefits most strongly from cross-pathing. Because, like, taking multiple ranks of Strangler feels bad. There's basically no reason to do it. I mean, there's sometimes a reason to take, like, 2 ranks of Strangler if you just want the extra HP. But, like, 40-90 sweep route is not that exciting. Since you get the sweep and you get the route on rank 1, it's generally much better to take a rank or 2 of Predator and get the quick and maybe multi-strike, or get some extra damage scaling with Thornlord. Like, there's just very little reason to, like, ever go rank 3 on Strangler. The others are a little more reasonable to just go, like, full in on, but still, most of the time I don't really want to do that. Anyways, all that said, if we weren't to take Stygian, what else would we consider? Remnant is also pretty decent. Banished is also reasonable, because turns out Banished is a great clan. Lazarus is also okay. I kind of want to do Lazarus, but we were just playing Lazarus. I think I'm just going to do Stygian nonetheless. Even though we've used Stygian as our allied clan a lot. Luna can play nice with the Awoken's healing, boys. Yeah, we did Luna for Sentient, but I don't really want Luna for Wildenton. And now, do I want Frozen Lances or Foregone Powers? I think I want Foregone Power. Part of the frustrating thing about this clan combo is that neither starter gives us backline access. And so it's very easy to be in a situation where you can't get collectors or do other things early on. But we'll do this. As far as Pyres go, Foregone is underrated. I mean, yes-ish, in that people say it's one of the worst starters, and I would say that it's pretty just okay. I do think it's better than Frozen Lance on the whole. On the other hand, I do also have complaints with a lot of people's starter tier list. Like, I definitely prefer Plink to Shade Splitter, for instance. Anyways, as far as this goes, I don't really know what Pyre we want. We should probably take Savagery for one of them, even though that feels a little cheesy to just, you know, have the sweep unit and give them Pyre Savagery. But nonetheless, that is the thing. Bogworm's Growth is good, of course, since the Wildenton is naturally 3 capacity. Herzl's Horde is, of course, good. I guess we take Heart of the Pact on one of these. Well, as boring as it is, we're going to start with Bogworms, as we so often do. That's an okay start. We're up against Savagery. Well, let's see what we're offered. Okay. So I don't know that this is really the best start for Strangler. It's an okay start for Strangler. But I think we're taking Strangler anyways, because that is the one I am most... It's the one we're most likely to fail on. So I'm happier to do it early on. We'll take Trader's Quill. I'm not too wild about either of these here. Forgotten Name remains just an absolute waste of an artifact, though. Would Shade Splitter letting you choose between the 3 basic morsels be an improvement or not? I mean, it would be an improvement. I don't necessarily think it should do that, but hey. Oh, I don't know why I didn't do that top floor. I forgot that I did actually want the incant there. Whoops. Yeah, we'll do it like this. Yep, of course. That's fine. 1 damage is pretty meaningless. We got the Collector, which pleases me. It fills my heart with joy. I do wish for Strangler that I had some sort of, like, healing, like Wildwood Sap or Restoration Detonation. Yeah, good job, Foregone Powers. I probably should have done that Frostbite on him, but that's fine. Our Siren is, turns out, pretty strong. Ta-da! And there we go. Okay, so we do want to save the Sting for later. In a world where maybe somehow we make a Sting deck with Thornlord. Unlikely, but it would be potentially cute. Razor Sharp Edge, we've already got 2, maybe 1/3. Vine Grasp, I don't think we really need. I guess we take another Razor Sharp. The problem is that, like, Wildenton has a limited amount of HP. The Nameless Siren has a limited amount of HP. Obviously, we can increase that with just like the plus 20 HP upgrade, or with some other Awoken cards now. But either way, we'll take that. We're gonna save those, I think. Again, if we weren't doing Hat Trick, absolutely 100% would be taking that. But that's not an option. Or more specifically, it is an option. It is not a good choice. As for what we're doing, going to the Merchant of Arms is not bad. I don't really have anything that I super need to Merchant of Magic here. I mean, obviously I could do like Holdover Razor Sharp, or Holdover Helical, or Minus Cost. All that is good. I think we're better served going here, getting like Incant Armor, or Multi-Strike, or Quick. I don't know. The problem is we need Quick on Wildenton, really? I mean, I do like that, kind of. On the other hand, Smidgestone matters a lot less with Bogworm. Could also pivot to Siren of the Sea. Which I don't hate. It does work better with the Razor Sharp. Also, Nameless Siren kind of works better with, like, Predator. You know what? Fine. Okay. That is largely good enough. I do need solutions for Savagery later on. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's more or less pretty decent shape for us, though. I mean, we are going to have problems, but oh well. We'll figure it out. Already using Best Siren. I mean, yeah. 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 Well, it's not what I wanted to have to do. But, so be it. To be honest, Strangler needs all the help he can get. Yeah, that's why we're playing it first and kind of pulling out all the stops. Like, Strangler isn't worthless, but it's definitely not wildly appealing for me right now. But Siren Seed's gonna do some solid work for us. And we'll see what we can do. Oh look, we're just going to murder all the enemies. Ta-da! Easy stuff. Okay. Okay. Well, this might be the time to take Wildwood Sap. I think it's probably worth taking Wildwood Sap. The problem, again, is that that isn't a solution going into Savagery. Or into the Seraph, I should say. I think it's still worth it, though. We're skipping these for a multitude of reasons. Now, do I want to go to Merchant of Magic, or do I want to go for the Merchant of Arms? And I think I kind of want to go Merchant of Arms. Namely, we'd want to see, like, Swift Steel Dagger is the main thing. Because if I can see Swift Steel Dagger, I can work with that. I still have to figure out a way around the melee weakness, but So, the other, like, really good option for us is we get, like, Holdover Frenzied Swarm. That is the thing that I would be appreciative of. What if you see Old Growth? The problem with the Old Growth is I have basically no healing. And I could get healing later, but it's just not that exciting for me. I mean, like, again, Frenzied Swarm is basically the ideal, but we haven't seen it yet. We don't know if we're going to see it. Could get value here. I think we're still just going to go for the Merchant of Arms and hope that we get someone we care about. That certainly doesn't look impressive. Interesting. I don't really want to play Dante, but I could. I mean, like, it is sort of game-winning right there. I don't know. Like, we probably should take Dante. I don't really want to. We're just gonna skip it. Realistically, I probably should. I just don't feel like it. Okay, I'm not wild about this, but I will take that. You're rare, whatever. Again, I really just should have taken Dante. It would be quite good, but I chose not to. Part of me kind of thinks for Hat Trick, denying Dante is an okay decision to make just because Dante can become your champ. I mean, that's part of why I'm doing it this way, is it just feels a little wrong to use him. because it is so game warping. Like, you know, it is the luck of the draw. Sometimes you're going to see Dante, sometimes you're not, yada, 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 and it's fair to use it when it shows up, more or less, but I don't know. Does root prevent ascend/descending? Yes. Yeah, if you root something and then you use, like, tiresome climb, it will daze them, but will leave them on the floor. It will burn the stack of the root that they have on them. But, yeah. Is Dante a rare event? I don't think so. So, honestly, I don't know how all the events work in Monster Train 2. I think they basically all have the same, like, chance of appearance, though some events can only appear in certain rings. But, yeah, don't know offhand exactly how it works. There are definitely people on the Discord who can, for sure, go into more detail, like Brandon, for instance. Feels rare, then? I mean, people say that about literally every event, just because that's the nature of RNG. Like, there are some people who are asking about that with, like, the Cults of the Lamb event, or the Balatro event, where they're like, I've encountered Cults of the Lamb 7 times in a row, but I haven't encountered Balatro in the last 40 hours. Just, that's how RNG is sometimes. Yeah, I think we're still setting up top floor like this. Would have been really nice if the Bogworm Pyre had cooperated, but that's fine overall. Okay, we're gonna just get kills on a couple enemies there so that he cannot get the bonus for them dying, because that is the worst thing for us in this fight. I mean, again, as long as he doesn't get to a point where he's like one-shotting Wilden 10, we're in decent shape. I already forgot that we have Trader's Club, but that's okay. Thank you for cooperating, Foregone Power. Your service is appreciated. Honestly, I should probably take the damage from the Vengeful Shard, but I didn't. Okay, he's not particularly strong right now. He is obviously going to get stronger. But we're about to go into Relentless. He's gotten basically no rage, so it's not too bad. This is an energy take, right? I hadn't really decided, but it's quite plausible. We're definitely not taking capacity. To be fair, my energy needs are a bit skewed right now because I haven't visited the Merchant of Magic at all. And a lot of this I can just fix with basic upgrades of a variety of sorts. But it is likely that we're going to take energy. Anyways, there we go. Wielden 10 doesn't even die. Ta-da! Okay. So we don't want Shard Channeler. Hoarfrost Effigy is bad. Awoken's Rail Spike is good. I might take it on this run. Yeah, that's fine. We'll take it now. I will skip those. And I think we're gonna go Ember for now. Probably draw at the next upgrade. But we might just go for a second Ember upgrade or something. Okay, so I don't have a ton of value here. Obviously, I can still just go here for like the gold and just remove stuff, because there's a lot of stuff to be removed. Alternatively, I go here. I look for... Who knows? Like, Emblem of the Exiles could be okay. Founding Seal for the double incant, obviously, is quite good. The event could be decent. You'll lose some value either path. I mean, that's true of everything. But, like, going here is probably the better choice. Just because gaining the gold and, like, skipping the banner, taking the gold is not bad. There's a lot of stuff I can do with the gold. It's really just, do I want to bet on the event or Merchant Trinkets? And I think we're just going to take the gold. I kind of want to go Merchant Trinkets event, but I'm also leaning towards going here for the dupe. And so... I mean, you don't need healing on one path and no upgrade to the other. Yeah, I figured that's what you meant, but... that's not uncommon. Especially since I tend not to take a lot of damage on most fights. And yet, there are people who argue that it's impossible to get through certain fights without leaking the first waves every time. Whatever. Hey, not worth arguing about. Ooh, snuck an humble break there. I didn't really mean to, and I was hesitant to say it for that reason, but just realistically, I don't take that much damage on a lot of runs. Like, it's pretty common that we go into the Titans, or at least into Seraph, near full health. Which is partly why I don't care that much about the, like, full heal and extra HP event. The one that, on the other side, reduces you down to 1 HP and gives you Unstable Shard, which just gives extra stats to your whole, to every unit. Like, I don't really care about the full heal there because I mostly don't... It's mostly not going to make a big difference on a lot of runs. Anyways, whatever, fine. We'll just commit. We'll go here. We'll get the gold. We're not taking any of these. We just want to dupe the Siren, basically. Some are harder than others, not let first wave slip. That or just need to get good. I mean, yes, to some degree, but there are people who talk about it, and this is more like a clan-to-clan thing, but, like, this is mostly front of mind because someone was complaining about Luna again recently. And basically saying you need to hit certain cards or you lose with Luna. And I dislike that mentality, and I disagree. Especially since I don't even agree with the specific cards they were pointing out, namely, like, Moon Pixie. Like, Moon Pixie can be good, sure. It's definitely not a requirement to win, by any means. Well, I was hoping that was going to leave me with foregone power. No, it wasn't a humble break. It was just to get good to the forum whiners. I mean, I try not to be... Okay, I'm never trying to be rude when I discuss, like, balance or, you know, that I think people are wrong or whatever. Like, I do try to be very helpful on the Discord in particular. Like, I'm basically always around to give advice or to run seeds that people had trouble with. Yeah, let's just accept the damage. Yeah, it cooperated. I leak, but unfortunately that's just a skill issue. Oof. I mean, like, yeah, it's... I didn't really do that. I should have done the Root Seeds, since Will Intent was going to heal the HP anyways. Okay. Either way, we're in great shape. Like, again, we're not taking any damage. We should smash Ajax pretty easily. It'd be nice if I could kill the corruption dudes behind him before we got here, but it doesn't matter. Again, Wilden 10 takes a small amount of damage. And then we just murder him real good. Ta-da! Okay. We don't need Edge Prior, / it's still pretty bad. But we have 1 healing card in Wildwood Sap. I would love to visit Merchant Magic, by the way. Pyre Shortage is fine. We don't really need it. Bramble Ash does nothing for us. I mean, Glacial Seal's cute. Don't think we need it here. I kind of want the Ice Tornado. I don't think we really want it, though. And I don't think you are bragging, but in my opinion, this game rewards knowledge, foresight, and creativity, and I like that. It's not something I can do, but I like it. Yeah, I mean, that's part of why I like the game so much, is there's a lot of different ways to win, and if you are creative, and, you know, if you're willing to experiment and you're creative, there are a lot of different ways to get through any given seed. Which is why I'm always recommending to people to experiment and to not tunnel vision on things like needing a quick sweep unit or needing, you know, XYZ other card. Like, there are multiple great tools in every claim combo. I think we're just skipping this. The Glacial Seal is cute. I don't really need the spells. I kind of want the Foregone Power, not the Foregone Power, the Ice Tornado, just as a way to help with Savagery. Because admittedly, that's still my issue, is I don't have a good way to deal with the sweep dudes yet. And that's kind of a problem. Ice Tornado is really not the best way to do that, though. But I'll skip. I probably should have taken it. I also should maybe go here looking for Swift Steel Dagger for Wilden 10. I will take that. I will take that, I guess. I don't take that even though I just blew all my gold. But so long as we can get Wilden 10 to survive a hit, that is much better shape for us. But who knows? Also, I would like at least one... Well, I would like more than just one extra pip on bottom floor. Bogworm is not fully cooperating. But we'll see what we can do. Well, this is a hand if I've ever seen one. Okay. Each clan has most of the building blocks to make a good deck. The problem comes from figuring out how to put them well together. Yeah, but, I mean... Even then, I do think people commonly tunnel vision on some specific answers. Like, even if they know a way to win with a clan, they fail to see other options that were presented to them. Yeah, don't claw this one. Yeah, we're gonna get sapped. I think it's still generally worth us to do this since we are building up plenty of defense as well as the offense. Cat, lay down, please. I really need to visit Merchants of Magic. It would go a long way towards my success. You know what? We'll do that so we don't have to deal with the sap next turn. Okay, we should be in good shape for the boss. I would have loved to have played the Helical, but unfortunately I did not have enough for it. I will say, Emblem of the Exile's pretty good in Monster Train 2. It was okay at Monster Train 1. Definitely a lot better in Monster Train 2. Partly because you get a proc of it on the first turn because it activates right after deployment, which was not the case in Monster Train 1 because there was no deployment phase. And so it immediately has plus 15 HP to the front unit on every floor. It also just gives a lot more HP than it did in Monster Train 1. Immersion Magic for your spell-based strategy? Nah, couldn't be needed. Yeah, imagine. Extra 10 health is no joke. Yeah. Like, doing 15 per turn instead of 5 is a big difference. And again, it was fine in Monster Train 1. It wasn't particularly good, though. We don't need Focus Growth, especially since we have the full heal each turn. Ensnare, we don't need. Invigorating Solution, we don't want or need. I mean, it's maybe fine. We're gonna skip, though. I mean, Drain is kind of an option. We're gonna take Drain. Alright, I mean, I kind of like the dupe and all that. I care way more, though, about doing this. And finally visiting this. Okay, so we want Intrinsic on you. We're gonna make that better. Okay, so -2 on that, and then hold over on this. And that goes a long way towards success. Nerfed Rail Spike still best spike. I mean, it's still very good. I saw someone trying to claim that it's awful now post-nerf because it can't be used for infinites anymore. And it's like, yes, it can't be used for infinites. It's still very good. But they're like, the only reason you were ever taking Awoken Rail Spike is because it allowed for easy infinites. And it's like, no, you take it because it's a pretty universally, like, great card. Like, yes, it's not quite as good as it was in Monster Train 1, but still very good. It is definitely one of the cards closest to, like, 100% pick rate, I would expect. It was too good before, to be honest. Yeah, it deserved the nerf. And any nerf other than the one it got would have been way... just would have felt way worse. We definitely need to get rid of the foregone powers, by the way. To that end, I think we're just going to save the gold. We're going to skip this. The intrinsic holdover drain is at least going to do some decent work for us. I don't know if it's enough. I think it probably is, but... and I'm sorry, what is this? We're up against damage shields. That's fine. We can manage... I just want to be on a floor where it can fit all of my units. And so that is worth us not setting up on bottom floor, even though they're going to be doing some buffing. That guy's also going to skip to top floor. That should be fine. We've got the stewards up there. Okay. I need stuff and things. I really need to get rid of some of the foregone powers. It's at least not too big of an issue right now because I'm not relying on, like, Frenzied Swarm, where I absolutely can't use them. It's just, at the moment, would be really nice to be just using my deck better. Okay, we're doing it that way so I can draw a bunch of things. Unfortunately, not the most helpful draw. Oh, you are rooted. Honestly forgot that I have a root because it hasn't mattered at any stage before now. That's better. Still not perfect, but better. And we are progressively minus costing our whole deck. Which is partly why we did the things the way that we did. Anyways, I'll use that. Well, we've got it. We draw 5 more cards. And then we just play out what we can play. Yeah, we're in pretty good shape. Again, the bottom floor not getting extra capacity is a problem. Honestly, might just take capacity here to guarantee it. I'm getting decent draw with the Root Seeds and the Awoken Rail Spike, and especially if I thin my deck so that I'm hitting that more often, it will go a long ways towards success. So I might just want to do that. Oh no, he's gonna get a bunch of damage shields. Somehow I'll have to deal with that. You know what? Enjoy. It turns out drawing 5 cards and minus costing them it's pretty good. Like, I don't even have the best deck for it. Like, I don't have too many cards that are of, like, huge value for me to draw into. But even then, it's still... Extra cards is very strong in Monster Train. Especially for incanting. And there we go. Kale easily taken down. I will say, I very much look forward to having the extra bosses in the new update. Oh, they're spreading spores, one of those cards that I still haven't mastered. Oh, man. Well, we're not taking it right now. If we weren't doing a challenge, I would maybe take it, but so be it. The Crown is such a good pickup. Yeah, it was a real good pickup for us. It just makes our situation much more reliable. It's like, we're going to have some problems later on, still kind of, but it's very helpful, especially combined with Emblem of the Exiles. We are just skipping these. I don't really need those. And then, honestly, I guess we're going to do that. I'm not, like, terribly enthused by it. I don't know that I need... I don't know that I need, like, the Merchant of Arms now. I still probably go here just for the gold and that. Could also do the removals, though. Maybe I just want the removals. I'm gonna go here just for the sake of it. Well, Exil's Diadem could have been good, but we're not taking it. We're not taking Awakening Thicket. I think we're just not taking any of this. Yeah. Fine, sure. No. Alright, well, we gave up a bunch of HP, but that's fine. We got things we care about. And there's healing over here anyways, so like, ooh. So terrible that I gave up so much HP. That said, I really need to get some things on my deck. We definitely don't care about the Siren anymore. And mostly we want to get rid of Foregone Powers. Yeah, this is fine. The amalgams are not a big deal for the most part. Okay. Well, we have so much capacity on the other floors. But this is exactly why we took the capacity upgrade. So that we could fit if we need to. And we're going to spread those guys out, so no matter what floor the collector spawns on, we are going to be able to do it. Also more value in an emblem. Yeah, I did think about that. Honestly, that doesn't, like, terribly actually matter for us. Just because that only matters if enemies are actually getting up there to engage with them. But yes, technically helpful. I do need to make sure that we are not going to have too many enemies rooted here when the boss comes out. But we should be getting strong enough where that's not going to be an issue. I know it's a minor point, it's just more pleasing. I will agree with that, for sure. Okay, we can still do this right now. We'll hit the hand limit. Oh, yeah, except we were also drawing off a wing steel. Technically a little bit of waste. Oh well. Yeah, unfortunately Wilden 10 isn't getting any stronger. He's at least taking out the weaklings, and my sirens are doing okay work. Honestly, I could probably just be taking the vengeful shard damage and it would be okay. Okay, we are getting to a point where we're not rooting too many enemies. It's just that so many enemies come out in the boss wave that it is somewhat concerning. Ugh. Alright, is this enough? We've still got 2 amalgams. Yep, it's totally fine. Also, it's not the one I was thinking of that has way more enemies. Either way, that's fine. We'll leave it as is. There's no point in incanting here when it just makes everything a little worse, and we already have the kill. And there we go! Siren of the Sea doing solid work. I am sad that we had to take the capacity upgrade, but alas. We are not taking these. I do want the Guardian's Amulet, but I think we can get by without it. And therefore, I think it's best to leave it for later. I might be wrong, and if I'm wrong, then we're in real bad shape, but so be it. I would love to get not Pyrostone housing, Lightstone casing, and get double stacked on the drain. Well, maybe we just manifested our destiny? Well, not quite. Okay, well, we're going to -2 that again. I mean, that accomplishes a similar goal. Okay, interesting. I don't know that those are terribly that helpful for me. I'm just gonna get rid of one of those and go from there. And then, I don't know, something, who cares? Sure, just cost less, I guess. And then what are we duping? Kinda wanna dupe a Siren. problem is that during this Seraph fight, we won't be able to fit it on the same floor. But we could fit it on the same floor during the Titan fight, and I think that's worth doing. And there we go. Okay. Hello, Ashiaka. How you doing, friend? And unfortunately, we're one capacity short from fitting the other Siren here, but whatever. We tried. If I had taken the Restoring Retreat, we'd be able to do it, but we didn't. Okay. So, I am tense. Playing Amnesia, Dark Descent, need break. Understandable. Alright. Alright, so our dudes are naturally at a point where they're surviving now. But, even more than that, we're going to do that, and then they take substantially less. They still take some, but substantially less. And we got rid of all the melee weakness, which means that we don't have nearly as much to fear now, even with all the extra rage. I mean, yes, this kind of looks very bad. It should be okay in a moment. Hopefully. Maybe I'm underestimating this. Yeah, I mean, he does actually do so much damage. Yeah, maybe that's not gonna work. God, yeah, the fact that we don't kill those guys on turn 1 means that there's just so much damage coming out here. Should be fine in a moment. It was in fact not fine. Yeah. I mean, part of it's I don't know where I should be putting the sap. I think maybe I just need to put all the sap into the Zealot. Because the fact that he gets just so much extra attack is so bad for us. Also, it's a shame that that doesn't quite kill, because that would knock out just a good chunk of damage. Yeah, it's just not enough. Alright, well, that's a problem. Alright, on to plan number 2. Which I think is still going to be pretty problematic, but hey, we'll do what we can. No quick sweeper in the deck. Yeah, I mean, that is a thing. Oh, and I got the extra energy off of Looming Dark Shard, drawing into that, which was cute. Yeah, honestly, let's just incant as much as I can, I guess. Okay, and then you show up here this turn, but we have slightly more HP, kind of. I still take a lot of damage. I will be taking the amalgam damage, which isn't great, but we'll see what we can do. Okay. I need to stop doing that where I don't actually leave myself enough hand space. Okay, we are wiping the whole floor, which does help quite a bit. Okay, we're getting rid of some of those helps. I mean, I'm still taking the amalgam damage, whatever, fine, so be it. It is what it is. We must incance like our life depends on it, because it kind of does. But every turn that passes, Wildenton gets into a better shape on HP. And my sirens are stronger. Yada yada yada. It's a shame I don't have any spells that deal, like, real meaningful damage. Like, yes, I've got the Helicals, but, you know, not doing, like, that much damage. I do appreciate having the Looming Dark Shard. I mean, I'm at a point where I don't need the extra Ember that it generates, but it still is nice. Okay, let's just make you do less damage. Since he does get Rage on strike, so if I bring him down to 0 attack, then it proportionally does substantially less damage to us. Okay, and we are strong enough that we can just tank hits now, even when empowered by a Seraph. And, yeah, gotta say, Awoken Rail Spike, doing a lot of work for us. All hail the Crown. I mean, yes, the Crown is a very good pickup. Admittedly, I would have built the deck fairly differently if we hadn't seen that. There's a lot of other choices I would have made. And again, if we weren't doing Hat Trick, I probably still would have made a lot of those choices. But I'm trying to save as many things as I can for the other runs. Also, I wish that I had less foregone powers. It's fine. We at least get rid of most of them. It's just that, especially combined with the Spell Chain Drain, like, I never get to play them. Yeah, we already used the Rail Spike this turn. So we can't draw any additional. Doesn't matter, it's fine. Saving all the quick sweepers. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. We didn't really need that for the most part. We are taking a lot of damage from the Amalgam, sadly. But we should be able to mitigate some Titan damage. Since I can easily sap Dominion, and even then, we're going to be coming in with, like, a decent amount of HP regardless. Alright, yeah, I gotta say, the holdover, Spell Chain, Drain, doing a lot of work for us. Sadly, not enough for us to set up on bottom floor, but that's fine. You're just a little ways off from stabilizing on bottom floor, sadly. But that's okay. We did get a number of very useful tools. Oh boy, I drew back into the Rail Spike. So helpful. Again, this may or may not be exactly the sort of reason that it got nerfed in the way that it did. Okay, and there we go. Will 46 HP be enough for seconds? Yeah, it'll be fine. We'll be okay. That's on the high end of what you typically need anyways. And as I said, we can just sap Dominion so that we're never taking Dominion's attack damage. Like, I'm not the strongest deck for sure, but it should work. Yeah, so we're one off from what I want, so we'll just set up mid-floor again. It does mean we have to deal with Scourge cards a little bit, but that's fine. May as well play those out to block for a turn. Okay, so. Alright, don't even have to take the Curse of Entropy. Because we're just that cool. In the ideal world, we'd be killing you, but I can't, so here we are. Well, I need to make space. Okay, and now the Vengeful Shards are Ember positive whenever I draw them, thanks to the Dark Shard. Yeah, I knew it was possible for that to happen. I was hoping it wouldn't, but that's fine. We can handle getting a little bit of sap. Okay, well, let's get rid of that. Let's get some corruption on Wildenton. Okay, still like this, I guess. Stupid Scourge cards, you absolute bastards that you are. We already played that this turn, so that is not helpful. But we can guarantee that this gets discarded now. Okay, so... eventually I will get all the cards in my deck minus cost, and that will be nice. But we're not there yet. Okay. I could also be buffing Wildenton's attack so we'd be able to kill more things on the sweep, but I just didn't want to. And mostly doesn't feel that helpful. It's technically decent, though. Yes, keep a minus costing each and everything. Okay, so you still have enough sap. I will have to refresh that soon, though. Well, unfortunate. Okay, so I don't really want you to buff every enemy in existence, so let's just not let that happen. Yeah, that's fine. I probably could have done at least a little bit of incanting here. Probably should have. Because I am still a fair distance away from killing Savagery and Entropy. We're working on it, though. It just expands off screen. Yeah, if I could have gotten you down to 1 HP, I could have knocked off your reanimate with the Razor Sharp, which would have been nice. But, so be it. Of course. I just really want that to hit the correct target. It's not taking that long to kill Savagery and Entry, it's just the turns are being so slow with all the incanting. I mean, yes, that's fair. I'm actually much closer than I thought I was. I thought I was further away from killing Savagery. But you are correct. It is going pretty slow, turn by turn. Every time. Every time. Anyways, we're down. Savagery's down. Dominion is basically down. I really do wish that I didn't have the foregone powers, because it caused problems, because, like, I can't play them before playing the Awoken Rail Spike without risking things, and that's annoying. Either way, we got there, we hit the breakpoint we needed, and thus, we get the kill this turn. Ta-da! Anyways, yeah, we had way more than enough HP. Because, you know, we took 25 damage since we were able to just sap Dominion every turn. So we just only took damage from Savagery, which wasn't too bad. I even got to block it on the first turn thanks to the Stewards. And there we go. We technically have a win streak going. It's just that I keep having to break the win streak when we need to re-roll for the right champion path for the challenge. So, you know, that's a thing. Anyways, so that was Wilden 10, wherever he is in the list. That was Strangler. Strangler is the one that I'm most worried about. The others are still problematic. Because, like, Predator has such low HP, and Thornlord's... I mean, Predator's fine, but the low HP is a problem. And Thornlord is okay, but again, I have to ration the units across all 3 runs, and that can be a problem. This cat is being very needy right now. Anyways, we need to record what we used. Cat, you are not being helpful. I know. You don't care. Okay. I need to clear it out from Grael. Bear with me. Okay, so this was Strangler, and we used Bogworm, which we've used so often. I do kind of hope that they add more pyres at some point. Like, the pyres that they've got are cool for the most part, but it would be fun to have more pyres, as long as they have cool, interesting effects at least. So we had Siren of the Sea, which should be the only unit that we used, because we took the Nameless Siren out as soon as Like, it stopped being relevant as soon as we picked up the Siren of the Sea. Which definitely was a good pickup for us. As far as spells, we had Awoken's Rail Spike, which was very useful. We had Drain, which was a very important pickup. Razor Sharp Edge. And Wildwood Sap. And Helical Crystallis. I believe that was all the spells. And then No Rooms. And then, whoops, we had Meat Shield. And I believe that was everything we used. Okay. That said, a little bit early, but we're going to stop there for the night because, I don't know, these runs take a bit. And I am very hungry, and I need to eat. So, I am going to go do that. We'll be back tomorrow. We will continue on with more hat tricking. We will hopefully not lose with Wilton 10. It would be upsetting if we did. And we'll go from there. We don't have that many champions left to do, so we're just going to keep doing them. Eventually, the new update will come out in a couple weeks, and we will also greatly enjoy that. Regardless, thanks for hanging out, everyone. Have a nice night. Have a wonderful week. I will see you tomorrow.